Hello everyone. I hope that you're having a fabulous day, and I hope that you have plans to have a great and safe 4th of July weekend. I am going to be getting started on my Flylady Zone 1. So I thought I would take you along with me, or bring you along with me as I do this. If you follow my videos or know my story, then you probably know that I have been following the Flylady and her routines and systems since 2011. And if you follow my videos and my story, then you also know that on April 20th of this year, 2021, I was involved in an accident in which I sustained some pretty bad chest trauma, and I wasn't able to really do anything for a while, and have slowly been over time recovering from that injury, and I've just now recently gotten released from my doctor to go back to working out and doing more physical things. Even though I do have to follow up, I have to have a repeat CAT scan because there is still a large amount of swelling that they don't understand why it's still so swollen almost 3 months later, and there's still a good bit of bruising left that they feel that should have been healed up by now. So they're going to have to send me to do another CAT scan to follow up on that. But for the most part, I've been pretty much released to do whatever I feel like doing physically, working out, house cleaning, working in the yard, just pretty much doing anything as long as I don't start experiencing any kind of pain or shortness of breath, I'm fine. So I thought with July starting this week, it would be a perfect opportunity to go ahead and start on the 1st of July with getting back into my zone cleaning, my Flylady Zone cleaning chores, because the fact of the matter is, this is real life here. At the beginning of March, we went to Minnesota to visit my daughter, and when we came back from Minnesota, I had gotten pneumonia, which my doctor is convinced that it was the virus. Even though my test was negative, to this day, my doctor is adamant that he believes it was the virus. So I was sick for quite a few weeks. That was in March. Then in April the 20th is when I had my accident, and I was injured pretty badly, and I wasn't able to do anything for a while. So it's actually been since February that I was doing any zone cleaning chores. Now I've done, like, you know, the important main things, you know, keeping the dishes clean, cleaning up the bathrooms, laundry, stuff like that, making the bed, washing bed sheets every week. But those I've been pretty much staying on top of, but pretty much everything else has just been kind of let go since February. So needless to say, all of my areas, all of my zones, all of my rooms, everything is horrible and in very desperate need of being cleaned. So I thought July beginning, great time to get started back into my zone cleaning, and starting out week 1 of July with zone 1. So yes, I was going to take you along with me and help me feel inspired, and hopefully inspire you to, you know, to get on to your zone cleaning, or even look at Flylady's website and kind of check her out and see how her routines and her zone cleaning tasks work out. It's such a beautiful day. I'm actually sitting out here on my back deck which is one of the areas that is in my zone 1. Over the years, I've kind of tweaked around on the zone cleaning chores, like when we lived at the lake house in the past in Cartersville, we had one entrance that was kind of like a separate entrance at the back of the house. So I had an entrance to clean, and I had a porch on the front. So I had a porch to clean, no back porch, and no front entrance because the door walked directly into the living room. Then when we moved to Fort Myers in the apartment, obviously we had no porches and only one door that walked directly into the living room. So no entryways, no porches. So I've always just kind of had to tweak, you know, my zone, dividing up my zones by what rooms I have. Also in Fort Myers, the laundry closet was right inside the dining room where our table was, so there was no separate laundry closet or laundry room. So, you know, you just kind of tweak it around. And so now that we're living here in this house, I have 2 entryways, which is, one is the main one off of the front door of the house. I have an entryway downstairs, which is the entryway in from the garage, because it's a split level house, so it has a lower entry from the garage and then a front entry into the main front door of the house. My laundry closet is downstairs at the entrance from the garage. I have a small, pitiful little front porch that I take care of, and then on the back we have like a pretty small deck. Now the thing about our decks and our porches is this is kind of an older house. We're renting because when we came back from Florida, we looked into buying a house, and unfortunately, like, our credit was great, our income was great, but our debt to income wasn't great. So the mortgage broker advised us just to find a decent little house to rent while we work on paying off a couple of loans and some debt. So we moved in here, and that's what we're doing. We're renting this place while we're working on paying down our debt so that we can buy a house. So this is kind of an older little house. The front porch, the back porch, you can tell that the wood on the porches are probably original to when the house was built, because they're very weathered. They're very, like, the decks need to be replaced. I mean, and if we were to, for whatever reason, ever buy this house, that's the first thing we would have to do, is just completely redo the porches. But we had actually talked about buying this place because our landlord actually mentioned to us, like, if we were interested, reached out to us and asked if we were interested to buy it, and we talked about it. I hate moving, and I can't stand the thought of packing up and moving again, but at the same time, there's a lot of work that needs done here. Again, the porches need to be replaced. The front yard, the backyard, all the property is just a great slope, so there would have to be some grading to ever make a decent yard out of it. Then we would have to put a fence in for the huskies. We think it's just probably too much work here, and not to mention that steep driveway that is, like, everybody hates our driveway, and we hate our driveway. So anyway, I have gotten completely off track. Completely. So anyway, that was the thing about our decks, is I can only do so much with cleaning the decks. I sweep them, I clean off the patio table, out back, the grill, and just, you know, you can't really pretty up something that's just this worn and weathered, but I do give it my best effort. So I have taken, had it slid under here so the wind wouldn't blow it, but I've got one of these little cleaning tracker sheets. These are Carpe Diem. These are from Carpe Diem, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill in, like, my regular weekly house cleaning chores that I have for the week, and then I'm just gonna add, like, whatever zone chores I want to pick up throughout the week. and then I will check them off as I go through the week. And so I think I've rattled on long enough. Without further ado, let's get started doing some cleaning. Okay, so these are my Zone 1 areas. This is the entrance from the garage. So this is an entrance that has to be done on Zone 1. And when you come in to the right, here is my laundry area, which again, this has not been really touched since my accident in April. And I'm so ashamed of it, but this is real life. So, you know, part of the chores are bringing down the cobwebs, which we definitely have plenty of those in here. Obviously washing off the appliances. Like I have gunky buildup in my washer. More cobwebs, just tons of cobwebs. And then the floors are pretty disgusting. I have like bulk laundry detergent and fabric softener bought up just sitting in the floor. Haven't swept the floor out. Some more cobwebs. So the floors obviously have to be scrubbed. This little thing that I bought is pretty gross. I need to take everything off of it and clean it. So that's definitely something that has to be done. And I guess I should dust off this little shelf up top. For the entrance, I've got to dust all these doors. My entrance door, these doors, the door to the basement room, the little storage closet. I've got dog toys in here. Obviously this rug needs washed. The floors need swept and scrubbed. I have a dog leash on the steps. So the stairs will need to be vacuumed. Then this is our second entrance because this is a split level house. So we have the entrance from the garage and the main entrance. So these shoes need to be dealt with. There's probably cobwebs, yes, to be dusted down. Dust my window, dust my exterior door, dust this little area, and try to do something with this plant. I also have stray shoes. Then I have here, I should dust the outside of the door. Oh, and it looks like I've had a package delivered. I will need to just kind of sweep off the porch. I painted the porch last summer and obviously the paint did not last. So, you know, the wood is old and pretty worn, so it is what it is. I can't help that. So anyway, just kind of tidy up that and kind of spot clean this wall right here. Everybody, when they go up the stairs, everybody just puts their hand on this railing, on this wall, and dust, or yes, I need to dust these railing here. Definitely need to be dusted and washed off, and vacuum these stairs and mop this floor right here. And then one more. so this is the end result of cleaning this primary entryway to our house. And looky here, cobwebs, they're gone. And I spot cleaned the house. I took everything off of the shelf and dusted it. It was pretty dirty. I'm pretty happy with it. The appliances been cleaned up. Look at there. No more gunk in there. And cleaned off this dryer. Now, and I cleaned this out. Look at this. How impressive. It was horrible gross. Now it's all nice and clean. And I did have to leave my bottles in the floor just because I really have nowhere to put them. But look here, they're not perfect, but they're definitely better than what they were. So look right here on this side. Again, I can't get back there in that corner. Like, that's the thing with laundry closets, laundry rooms. You can't really get behind the washer and dryer. And so most of the time when you move out of a house, you have to do your most heavy cleaning behind a washer and dryer. And that's definitely going to be the case here. So, but it feels so much cleaner, so much brighter. And I love that my appliances have been cleaned off. And so that is that little room. And I dusted the room into the basement room, which is like my gym. We have a bathroom in there and a spare bedroom and my storage room. And then this is like the storage closet. I know it still looks pretty bad in that corner. I'm just gonna have to like get down on my hands and knees with a little brush or something, but I just didn't have time to do that today. And I dusted the main door, cleaned it. And again, I'm just gonna have to like put some real elbow grease into these floors. Just mopping them with a Swiffer really isn't cutting it. Then final task was I vacuumed the stairs. And then I moved everything up to my second entrance, which is what I will work on next, and then eventually move my way out to the porches. But entrance number 1 and laundry room are completed. So I'm grateful for that. And then I did wash my rug. It's actually hanging up out there to dry. So it doesn't really make that huge of a difference because everything down here is just so weathered and worn, but at least I know it's clean. Okay, so we are in the second entry. And I just finished all of my cleaning today. I actually got up there and dusted that ledge off, which that's always an ordeal because I have to drag out a step stool and it's just a whole process. But I washed the front door and the light switch. I dusted off this table and then just kind of switched those things out. The little bowl definitely had to be washed too. I swept all the cobwebs that I could get to down, which there's still some way up there, but you know, I'm only 5'3" and I don't know how tall this ceiling is, but it's big. I thinned the shoes down in the boot tray just to the pair each that we use out doing yard cleaning. I spot washed the walls, but unfortunately this isn't really a great grade of paint, which is kind of ironic for it to be a rental house. So it's not like a good scrubbable paint, so if you scrub too hard you'll scrub the paint off. So I did the best I could. And I washed the baseboards, washed that little metal track. Got my rug washed, put back down. Clean these railings. Let me show you these railings. Look at that, a huge difference from the other day, a huge difference from just an hour ago. And then I vacuumed the steps. But now I have to show you an update on yesterday because I thought of an idea. Those floors bothered me so bad. I took some of this Zip cleaner and degreaser that I have here. And I don't know if all degreasers work the same or if there's something in this that made it have magical powers. But I sprayed it on the floor and I let it sit for about 10 minutes. And can you tell a difference? I mean, yes, I need to bring a rag into that corner over there and get that cleaned up. But I cleaned the baseboards. I don't know how I missed getting inside that little area there by the door. I have to come back and get that. But look at the difference in the floor. Now, obviously, the tears and nicks in the floor are still there. They'll always be there. But I feel like just around the bottom of the baseboards and the doors, I feel like it came a lot cleaner. So, like I said, I sprayed the degreaser all around the floor and all across the center of the floor. Let it sit about 10 minutes, and then I came down here and I just put like an old washcloth on my Swiffer, on my little Swiffer mop, and I mopped over the floor. And then I went back over it with another dry cloth to dry it up, and then I just took a wet cloth and just kind of manually wiped over the baseboards and the bottoms of the doors. I feel like it made a big difference, and I think if I start doing that every month to this floor down here, I'll eventually get all these baseboards clean, all these corners clean. So I just had to share that with you. Again, that was this Zip cleaner and degreaser. So I'll link some in the description box below if you want to check it out and compare it. But wow. Now I haven't done my zone chores since February because I went to Minnesota in March, came home, got pneumonia in March, had my accident in April. So this is what it looks like after you clean when you haven't cleaned in almost 5 months. So wow, big difference. I'm happy with it. The rails look clean, the doors look clean. I feel like everything just looks brighter, cleaner. And so that's it for entrance 2. And tomorrow, gonna hit those porches. Okay, so on the front porch, I really did the best I could do. It's a small porch, but I still made some effort. I tried to reach up and dust that at that window and the light fixtures. I cleaned the door and the little track. Now, I didn't film any of this, and that's because I did them on the 4th. I did them Sunday night really late because we were out doing a lot of things on the 4th. And when our neighbors set off firecrackers on Saturday night, Aspen was absolutely terrified. And since this was the first year that we've had him, because we only got him in January, we decided to stay home with him. So while everyone was shooting fireworks Sunday night, I sat on the couch with Aspen, and then I just used the porch lights later last night to come out here and clean off the porches. So again, this wood is so old and weathered. It's just, my paint didn't hold up at all, and I'm really sad about that. But I came out here and tried wiping off these, and I found that when the roofers were here, they actually got a lot of tar on the porch, so there's nothing I can do about that. I cleaned off that little landing and put my little flower planter back there and just kind of swept off the porch. And then I had these little potted plants that my mom gave me. They're plants for me to set out, but since it's kind of too late in the year to set plants out because it's too hot, she told me to just keep them in the planters until fall. And it's peonies, and so I have 3 of them. So I just put them in the 3 corners of the porch, and then I still have my welcome sign. And I do still have like my little fall welcome mat, but it's because I don't have another mat to put out here. The only other one I have is a Christmas one, so I just need to get another floor mat. And got my little wreath hung back up. So this is about the best I could do with the front porch. It's an old weathered porch. I mean, this is real life. You know, I don't have a fancy house. I don't have a beautiful front porch or like a fancy back deck. I just have to do what I can do with what I have. But at least everything's been swept, wiped up, and cleaned to the best of my ability. So now I'll take you around and show you the back porch. So here's the back deck. Again, this old weathered wood, there's only so much I can do with it, but I did sweep the cobwebs off and clean the door and the track, but it's going to require a little more heavy duty scrubbing because some of it would not come off. And then I cleaned the window, cleaned the table. I cleaned the grill. I hung my lights back up and tried to sweep that rug off as much as I could, and swept the porch and put my little candle holders back up. And then I just used another mat. So I have one here at the top of the stairs, and then I have one, this nice little rug here at the door. So this is the best I could do. Again, this is real life. Like, this is my house that I rent. This is not, you know, a beautiful $1 million mansion with a glamorous deck. This is what I have. This is where I live, and so this is me doing the best I can do with what I have to work with to take care of it. So I completed all of my Flylady chores for Zone 1 and Week 1, and even though it still looks old and ugly, at least I know that it's all clean. So here is my cleaning schedule, my checkoff sheet, and I had already filled in each day of the week the different tasks to do for my zone chores. I did have to go in, and it took me till Sunday night to actually finish making my way up to sweeping, but instead of like rewriting the task down here on the days, I just left them where they were and then just marked them off as I got them done. But at least I can feel good knowing that everything was completed this week. And now I will just be moving into Zone 2. And I already marked off washing my sheets because I actually went ahead and did those on Sunday instead of waiting till Monday. So now I will be moving into Zone 2, which is my kitchen. And that'll be starting on Monday. So anyway, if you've made it to the end of this video, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video, and I hope that you had an amazing and wonderful 4th of July weekend, and everyone stayed safe, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.